To the statement B, the Election Commission ordered repolling in a constituency where large-scale rigging was reported. The democratic element that is here is the order to repoll by the Election Commission. The undemocratic role, the element that is here is a large-scale rigging that was reported. Coming to the C statement, women's representation in the parliament has barely reached 10%. This led women's organizations to demand one-third seats for women. So the democratic element that's here is demand by women's organizations to reserve one-third seats for women. The undemocratic element that's here is women's representation as parliament is less than, and it has barely reached 10%. Let's go to the next question. There are 40 villages in a district where the government has made no provision for drinking water. These villagers met and considered many methods of forcing the government to respond to their needs. Which of these is not a democratic method? A. Filing a case in the courts claiming that water is a part of right to life. Boycotting the next elections to give a message to all parties. Organizing public meetings against the government's policies. Paying money to government officials to get water. The answer is paying money to government officials to get water. So this is an undemocratic method. The others is they're taking an opinion here, right? And they're boycotting the next election. This is like a protest. So that's also democratic method. And getting the courts in the picture and asking for water as a part of right to life, that's also in a democracy. So the answer is paying money to government officials to get water. Let's look into the next question. Write a response to the following arguments against democracy. A. Army is the most disciplined and corruption-free organization in the country. Therefore, Army should rule the country. So, we should write a response to the following arguments against democracy. So, the answer is, though the Army is the most disciplined and corruption-free organization in the country, however, it cannot be justified that they should rule the country, right? Because they do not form a democratic government and they are not elected by the people, right? People will not be allowed to voice their opinion or express their opinion, as all their fundamental rights would be curtailed. Also, there would be no assurance that the army cannot turn into a ruthless dictator at any point of their rule, making the life of the people difficult. For example, the people of Chile suffered under the rule of General Augusto Pinochet. Let us look into the next question. Rule of the majority means the rule of ignorant people. What we need is the rule of the wise, even if they are in small numbers. Let us write an argument for this. The answer is, such a thing would be. So just conforming to this statement and writing against the statement to this would be that it's against the principle of UAF, wherein every person above the age of 18 years in our country, irrespective of religion, caste, sex, socioeconomic, has a right to vote. So there's a concept of UAF in India. So everyone has a right to participate equally in the formation of the government. Therefore, ignoring some sections of the society would be unfair. Every section of the society should be involved in the concept of elections. Moreover, wise men need not necessarily be good administrators. Third question. If we want religious leaders to guide us in a spiritual manner, Why not invite them to guide us in political as well? The country should be ruled by religious leaders. Let's look into the answer. Those who say that the country should be ruled by religious leaders are making a very risky statement. Let us see why. In a multi-religious country, bringing religion into politics can cause serious conflict among people. Moreover, religious leaders can bring trouble to the country due to their mutual conflicts of ideologies. Besides, many even do not have any experience in administration. Thus, it is very necessary for them to run their own religious institutions and need not meddle in the political affairs of the country. You will get to know in the further future classes that India is a secular country. It does not favor any religion, which is why we have a very stable government. That's it. Are the following statements keeping with the democracy as a value? Why? Father to daughter. I don't want to hear your opinion about your marriage. In our family, children marry where the parents tell them to. The answer. The statement The statement made is an undemocratic statement, as the girl is being denied an opportunity to voice her opinion and choose her partner. As per our constitution, every citizen who is 18 or above has a right to marry according to his or her choice. This comes as a matter of right to life in the constitution. Let's see the next question. Teacher to student. Don't disturb my concentration by asking me questions in the classroom. This statement made is completely undemocratic as the student is being denied the right to ask questions or clear his doubts. The best the teacher can do is to ask the student to ask his query at the end of the lecture in his or her cabin. However, stopping him from doing so is incorrect. Employee to the officer. Our working hours must be reduced according to the law. The answer to this is it's truly democratic because here the employees are asking for their fundamental rights, and with conforming to the laws and the norms of the company, the employees are always entitled to ask or request their office for something. So they're voicing out their opinion which is conforming to the law. Coming to the next question. Which of these is not a good argument in a favor of democracy and why? A. People feel free and equal in a democracy. Democracies resolve conflict in a better way than others. Democratic government is more accountable to the people. Democracies are more prosperous than others. Let's look into the answer. The answer is D. Democracies are more prosperous than the others. So this is not a good argument which is in favor of democracy. And let us look into why it is not a good argument. This is not a good argument as the prosperity of a country cannot be determined through its form of government but through its economic condition. For example, a democratic country like India is still a developing country, while a country following monarchy rule is economically strong. Suppose, giving you an example, UK has a very strong economy, and it's a developed economy. India is still developing country, so its economy is not on par with United Kingdom. Let us go into the next question. Which of these is not a valid reason for arguing that there is lesser possibility of famine in a democratic country? A. Opposition parties can draw attention to hunger and starvation. B. Free press can report suffering from famine in different parts of the country. C. Government fears its defeat in the next elections. D. People are free to believe in and practice any religion. The answer to this is people are free to believe in and practice any religion. And why is it not a valid reason? Because there are lesser chances for famine to take place in a democratic country. I will say that again, I will repeat that again. The answer is D, because it is not a valid reason, as there are lesser chances for famine to take place in a democratic country. This is because practicing of religion is not at all related to famine. That's it for today's class. Let's get into the next chapter. Thank you.